What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you a new weekly anime review, a Mob Psycho 100. I love this series. It's so freaking good. It's such a good series. I mean, every single episode is getting better and better, and this episode alone just showcases the dire situation that Ritsu is in and how Mob is trying to save his brother. It's such a wonderful episode just seeing some of the things we saw. Seeing how Mob legit used his powers to hurt an individual just shows you how serious he is about saving his brother. I mean, he legit held nothing back when he was attacking people, and he just bashed this dude around all over the wall and stuff and put his head straight through the damn ceiling. It just goes to show you how serious Mob is in this arc right now. He is straight up pissed. He's here to save his brother, and he's not holding anything back. He's not holding back his psychic powers and not harming someone. He literally will harm you to save his brother. Just some very good stuff going on right now in this arc, and that alone just made me super excited, because one of the big things about Mob that makes him balanced, even though he's very strong, we know he's not Saitama level anymore after last week's episode, but one thing that makes him super balanced is that he has this mentality to where he won't harm someone. He doesn't want to harm anyone with his physical or his psychic abilities. And so because of this, you have it to where he has this limiter on him. But right now he doesn't have this limiter necessarily because he literally wants to go save his brother. He doesn't give a shit. And that makes me very happy to see just how far he's going for his brother, how much he cares for him. And then on the other side, we get to see how Ritsu has progressed too with his psychic abilities, how he doesn't need Dimple anymore, and he's able to just fuck people up, just slam them up against the wall. It just goes to show you how strong he is too. He's not at the level of his brother, but you gotta remember that he just got his psychic abilities, and now he's starting to use them. Just to see how he's able to do something like that, it's pretty damn ridiculous. These two brothers are probably gonna become powerhouses in the future. They'll probably work together to take down a villain or something. So what is going on in this episode? Well, this episode overall, it's a simplistic episode. Like, it's not as complicated or as complex as previous episodes of Mob Psycho. I guess, the previous episodes of Mob Psycho have had, a tone about it to where you see this underlying character depth, where this characterization development is going on that really just makes you scratch your head like, holy shit, this development these certain individual characters get, like, Ritsu or Mob. This episode didn't really have that. It was more of a battle-orientated episode, along with some setup for the upcoming events, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's like a change of pace from the normal episodes of Mob Psycho. It's kind of like an action-y episode, or just trying to do reconnaissance and sneak in and all that to get their Ritsu back for Mob. And I really liked how the setup of this episode was done and all that, and I do like how the tone of the episode, for the most part, was very serious. I mean, it had its comedy and jokes that we know and love from One, the way he writes his series, but overall, the episode was pretty damn serious. It was a serious episode, especially with how Ritsu was trying to jailbreak out and try to get out of there and trying to save everybody, to how Mob was trying to be serious and save his brother. I mean, there was some little jokes here and there, but it was still a very different episode from what we're normally used to. But usually, other episodes of Mob Psycho, they have this, comedy undertone in some parts, which One does quite often, and this episode seemed to kind of lack that a little bit. It was a little bit more geared to serious nature. Maybe it wasn't one of the serious episodes, but I mean, it still had more seriousness to compared to previous episodes, which had the dark tone, but then they had a very jokish tone in certain other segments. So I do like the display of this episode and the way it was directed. Now, getting into the actual content, like certain individual details, let's talk about the jailbreak. So, Ritsu, he's stuck in a jail, and as we know right now, this organization wants to brainwash kids to where they can become soldiers for this entire organization. And you have to Ritsu, he's talking to everybody, he's like, okay, so what's all of your names? Like, I mean, I know you told me before, but I forgot because I wasn't really carrying at the time. Tell me all your names. So everybody, kind of introduce yourselves. We got, everybody's name, which I still didn't completely remember everybody's names, because I don't know if these are going to be really important characters in the near future. But everybody kind of revealed their names and stuff. Ritsu's like, okay, I got it. And he's like saying, okay, I need you to, get your spoon out. I need you to pretty much, heat it up, and then I need you to put it in the, the lock, and then twist it and all that, and open up the lock to the cell door. And so everything seemed to be working completely fine. I mean, overall, the psychic powers they were using was pretty damn pathetic. Like, it was weak compared to what we've seen Ritsu do, and also Mob. I mean, even, getting to see Toru as well. Just overall, the entirety of the psychic powers we saw in that scene was very weak, and majority of the organization members seem to underestimate kids, which I feel like that's going to be their downfall. They think the kids, they're so weak that they can't fight back. I mean, he didn't even check and see if they had anything on their person. Like, they didn't check, you know, Ritsu to see if he had a spoon or anything on him. I mean, normally a person would carry a damn spoon with them, but still, you'd think they would check the person if they had anything on them, maybe valuables or something that could help them out, maybe a phone or something to call, but apparently they didn't even check them. So that's the weird thing about this, of how, you know, they kind of underestimated the kids and dropped their guard. That kind of froze me for a loop. I'm like, whoa, okay, so they completely underestimated Ritsu and everybody else, and that's kind of stupid in my opinion. They really shouldn't have underestimated kids and all that, because, I mean, some could probably be extremely strong and would kick some freaking ass. I mean, look what Ritsu did. I mean, he led them all into a false sense of security, he dragged them to the back corner out of the cameras, and then he fucked all of them up, and he found the blind spot of the camera. And once again, getting to see the mindset of Ritsu, how smart he is. I mean, we know he's intelligent. We know that he has a very good brain and a head on his shoulders. We know that he's like everything that Mob isn't when it comes to real life besides psychic powers. So, just seeing how he was able to use his brain in that moment and, you know, find the blind spot of the camera, used all this stuff to make it appear like they're all weak, and then he fucked them over and slammed them into a wall, goes to show you how he fights and uses strategy and tactics to overcome his opponent. He's not just using power to win against people. So, yes, Mob Psycho, once again, being a very glorious series, a very good episode, and I like seeing how Mob, once again, he fucked up the guy that kind of fucked him up a little bit last week. Even though he fucked him up, he still got defeated by the guy, and so Mob kind of gets his revenge and takes him out relatively easy. I mean, Mob didn't let the guy get close at all, because he kind of knew what to expect, so he just took him out before he even got closer to him. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day, or night, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.